Welcome to Going for Two with Zach and Sharona, where we take weeks off if the NFL news takes weeks off. It's so exciting that almost everyone I've contacted to be a guest on this show says, "Can we talk in a month?" That's how it's going right now. We are all ready for the epic draft party in Chicago. Well, at least one of us will be there. We have the endless waiting and semi-not caring about Adrian Peterson's return to the league. A female official has been hired, so between her and the cheerleaders, women are averaging about $7 an hour on the NFL salary train. Johnny Football's ruling the hashtag team narrative, so that's what time of year it is. Sharona, how's it going? How you been? All that?
I've been good. How you been?
Quality. So I am drinking. A friend of mine gave me this beer, Big Bad Imperial Stout by Big Bad Baptist, sorry. Epic Brewing out of Salt Lake City. Probably the first beer out of Utah that I've consumed. Because I didn't even know they had beer in Utah. Look at
yeah?
that. See, you learn something new every day.
I am drinking a Southern Tier creme brulee.
Wow, that's good.
It's interesting. You would like this, Zach. It's very girly and sweet.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Sorry.
Not that there's anything whatsoever. Let me get into my pose. I gotta get cross-legged to get comfy. Okay, I'm ready.
You know, this is the YouTube world. Whatever goes on below, like this level, you know, it's all mystery. It's lovely. Who knows what's happening?
It's all a mystery. I actually am wearing shorts. It's not. I frequently wear no pants.
I was recording video earlier, and this room is super hot because I got to do all the lights. I'm not ready yet for the professional lighting and audio, but we'll get there. I need to be unprofessional before I'm professional. I think that's pretty much it. So is anything else?
What was the video for?
Oh, I'm basically took an iMovie course, so I'm going to do a little personal introduction video, and I've already done all the raw footage, and I just have to put it together. Might have a trailer and everything. So I don't know. They always do that. You know, I do that about me thing on various websites, and I figured having a video would be cooler, even though it is pretty much me talking to a camera. But anyway, I got outfits. I got costume changes. It's gonna be wacky.
You must post this on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, I posted one as a test.
You could be a YouTube star.
Yeah, that could be something. It's quite big. So, is there anything anywhere close in the NFL, close to what's happening in South Carolina and the whole Walter Scott situation? I mean, pretty much dominating the news at the moment.
Yeah, very tragic event, and the police officer who shot young black male. Well, young, I guess he's 50, but I mean that's kind of young. So very, very sad, and hopefully we can start doing something about all of these incidents that we continue to see.
Yeah, it kind of shows where we are with, I think 2 days ago, someone posted a tweet by the police officer's lawyer saying that, oh, he's done everything correctly, and then 2 days later the lawyer's like, oh, I'm off the case now that the video's out. So it kind of shows what happens, and now that, I mean, we had this with the Ray Rice situation last year. Now, once something's on video, all of a sudden it changes the whole story, and of course this is like, I mean, I can't count how many more times more serious having a video of someone dying on camera. But it's just, I don't know, it brings up a lot of stuff in society and life. And gosh, what a nice light topic to start tonight, huh?
Yeah,
I know you like your social justice stuff.
Buzzkill. Let's drink some. No. Zach, you keep cutting in and out on me a little bit. Have you checked your internet?
Oh, it's always funky. I wondered, since two of us are on in this house, that maybe it's a little choppier than usual. It's always kind of choppy. Like you see yourself, and you're like, man, this is not right. Like I was watching an episode of the show Louie at lunch today, and you're making fun of me because I was posting random lines from the show,
You were. I thought you were day drinking.
and there was
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
no, sadly, I've not been employed for like 2 months, and I don't think I've done that once. Gosh, I did not take advantage. I missed out on all these sporting events. I haven't been drinking. I've been like trying to get jobs. What's the deal? Something wrong with me.
Clearly living wrong.
But there's an episode of the show where he's at one of those like Best Buy big box kind of stores, and the people working there obviously don't want to help him out, and they put like a box behind him, and he trips over the box, so he goes back into the security room to see the footage of himself, and they clearly are showing an actor that looks a little bit different than him, and he's like, that doesn't look like me. And that's how I feel when I see myself on YouTube, when I hear myself on a podcast, like, that's somebody else, right? So that's just kind of the feeling that I get, especially having to watch myself on video over and over again. So, yeah. And Allison always says, what's your voice really sound like? She always like playing a different voice, so we'll see. We'll see if I can maintain my vocal levels and light levels and all that good stuff. But I don't know.
I get to see it, right?
Oh yeah, well I'll be showing it. I got different. It's fun just because I've had an opportunity with this extra time to take some classes, and since my wife has she's in school, she gets those lynda.com classes for free, so I've been doing a bunch of that. So yeah, doing an actual movie as opposed to just, I have to admit, I do like the Hangout version of record and you're done, but maybe doing a little editing, we'll see what actually comes out from there. So I can do like effects and sound and cool little interspersal type stuff, so it should be good. Should be interesting. So I want to know about something you're doing because I don't stalk you as well as I possibly should. We had was today the official press conference announcing the first full-time, at least for NFL, full-time female official?
It was not, well, I suppose it was. It was her introduction to the media, so to speak. They actually, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get closer so I really can cross my legs and get comfortable. So she was introduced to the press. Sarah Thomas is her name. She is a fellow Southerner, just like Sharona, so that is very awesome. She is from Mississippi, grew up in Mississippi. Very much a Mississippian, I can tell that about her. But yes, she was introduced to the media today, and we had an opportunity to hear her and ask her questions, and so it's kind of cool. Mm-hmm.
I want to see you get the exclusive interview so you can ask her about grits. I want to know
I want the exclusive interview. Don't think I haven't said that repeatedly. I want this. I would drink beers with Sarah Thomas. I don't know if she drinks beer or anything at all, really, but I would like to slam some with her. I think she would be awesome to hang out with.
Well, the officials in the NFL, they're still like part-time employees. So does she have the day job or the
She has a day job.
job?
She is a pharmaceutical. I believe her title is pharmaceutical consultant or something like that. So yes, she's in the pharmaceutical industry, and also she is married and the mother of 3 kids. So we know what kind of full-time job that is.
Seriously, yeah, that's a lot happening. I mean, it's good news because there was one like female coach I think was hired in the NBA last year or this year. It's hard to keep track, but so that's good, yeah, because you have this.
Coach in 2004, she played in the WNBA and has been, yes, for my San Antonio Spurs.
Your San Antonio Spurs? Of
Yes.
course. This is probably the longest we've talked about
Mine. I own
basketball
them. They are my
ever.
team.
Yeah, you're a Cowboys fan too, right? Oh, I don't know.
Hmm.
There's got to be some hope here.
I grew up a Cowboys fan, yes. First thing I learned to say and do was hook 'em.
Oh gosh, truly, yeah, the South.
True story. My mom used to love to tell that story.
Do you think we're gonna have to deal with some BS kind of stories about like a call being blown at some point this year?
You know, we talked about that on one of my shows, which if Zach ever listened to me,
One
he
of.
might know this. We talked about Sarah Thomas on Monday. It's a great show, great conversation. She's going to make a mistake. I mean, it's going to happen. We hope that it doesn't happen anytime soon. We would love for it to be one of those innocuous things that nobody really notices. But, you know, I mean, it's going to happen. She's going to be scrutinized. I am confident from listening to her and everything that I've read about her that she knows this too. She's aware. Certainly the NFL has to know that. And she made it clear, the NFL made it clear that she's an official just like anyone else, and she will be evaluated accordingly as well. She should.
That is true. So, are there any other women in the wings waiting to
Yes,
get on there as well?
there are Lindsey Jones from USA Today actually asked that awesome question. There were several women on the conference call. Oh, there were women. There were men on there too. Uh-oh, beer. There were men
No
on there
boys
too,
allowed.
but there were several women on there, and the women all asked amazingly important and good questions, and so it was an honor and a privilege to be there to listen to them and participate with them, and um, so yeah, there are. I believe I tweeted it out. I believe Dean Blandino said 8 women are in the pipeline right now, and they're interviewing others, and so that's something that is going to continue to be an area that they will develop.
And will we ever make Goldie Hawn from the movie Wildcats a reality? That's an 80s reference, everybody.
I think that I should be the first woman to coach an NFL football team.
That'd be awesome.
It would be awesome. I would be awesome at it, and the team would be awesome.
Wasn't it in the 80s, and I can't remember her name, the reporter from the Patriots or something, and the players gave her a lot of crap. They pulled that
Mm-hmm.
whole, naked guys in the locker room kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. The World Series did not
Shenanigans
end.
still go on. I mean, there's still shenanigans that go on, although it's getting I mean, you're seeing more and more guys come into the league who are used to it because it's happening at the college level. I mean, it's there's more familiarity with women being in the business than there used to be.
Yeah, is that the current kind of, so you kind of come from the college ranks and then get promoted? I obviously know nothing about how officials are made, just kind of like babies.
Sarah Thomas was an athlete. She played softball and went to college at the University of Mobile. It's in my article that I wrote about her for Pro Player Insiders. Anyway, on a basketball scholarship, when she was through playing, she missed being in sports, so she joined an all-male church league. Played there for 2 years until one of the local pastors had her kicked out, and then she
Old
um,
Testament on you.
along with one of her brothers, went to an officiating meeting, and that turned into her getting involved in officiating, and she officiated locally, then high school, and then she was actually getting ready to focus on her family and quit when the Conference USA had been watching her, and the Conference USA head honcho lured her to come and coach in the college ranks and officiate. in the college ranks, and as they say, the rest is history.
So it all worked out.
It's a monumentous occasion.
Yeah, it's worth drinking to, clearly.
Clearly.
So we are in a very sad time of the year because it is very quiet, and we're in the midst of a kind of an evil empire renaissance. Because Patriots won the Super Bowl, Duke wins the basketball men's championship, UConn wins the women's championship um, because they win every year.
Yes.
So what's next? Does that mean
The
like the Red
Bermuda Triangle
Sox are going
of
to win, or
evilness.
the Yankees? Well, I hear the Yankees are bad, but
Sweet Caroline.
I'm trying to think of
Dun,
who.
dun, dun.
They're everywhere. I went to one Red Sox game and it was a lot of fun. It was like a May and it was like a college football atmosphere. It was very strange. It was kind of like SEC but baseball, which
Well,
is pretty
Boston
solid.
sports fans are insane, obnoxious, and all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah. That's one of my more fun, like if I do an interview and it's a Patriots fan, which is about a third of the people that I've interviewed, I think, for some, reason. And it's like, are you one of those obnoxious fans, or are you just kind of sort of, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd be that way. Not sure if I'd burn a couch if I had the opportunity, but who knows? There's certain fans that go to that level. That was the story I heard today. I'm sure you may not have caught it with everything else going on, but it was West Virginia was banning like porch furniture because people kept burning them in riots, which I'm not sure. Did they
Oh
riot when they
no,
made it to the Sweet
I
16,
mi-
or if they won the Independence
I
Bowl or
missed all
whatever?
that.
Yeah, it was just. I was like, hmm. Well, my wife was a reporter. Well, she worked at a news station in Lexington, and she was there when Kentucky won the national title, and people overturned a news van. So I kind of
Hmm.
wondered, would it be that bad because they lost in the Final Four, but apparently they rioted anyway. So yeah. Oh, we have a visitor.
Hi,
Cat
Kitty.
Baloo. Yeah, he's like, what is up? All this sports talk is so exciting. The Cats did not win the national title, right?
Oh,
Is not what I want. Oh yeah, do
they
not sink the claws in. That is not.
they got knocked out. They got knocked off their perch by a bunch of badgers.
I know. I find it for sporting events that I'm not that into that I like watching them on Twitter. Like I basically watched the national championship basketball game on Twitter. I don't think I watched a minute of the actual game, but people's reactions to it were probably just as good as actually watching the game. You can't do it, dude. Sorry.
Most
Yeah.
everything is more fun to watch on Twitter.
Because everything that happens, 20,000 people make the same comment, but then that means you're not going to miss it. There's no chance. There's some play late in the game where the ball bounced off a Duke guy and it was called Duke ball and everybody freaked out. And I was like, yes, I like that.
It was bullshit.
I want to root for a team where I get ref calls in my favor like that. That'd be nice. I want to root for a team that ever wins a championship. And all I have are the White Sox 10 years ago. That's all I got. And my Missouri Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl championship. Never forget that. What, not exciting? Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's
If you want
always
to,
exciting. I'm
if you want
excited
to,
to be.
if you want to pep up the excitement, so there's an article that came out. It was Bleacher Report, of course, because they're everywhere. Austin Collie, who's trying to make a comeback to NFL, says he's being blackballed because not only did he have concussions, he had very public concussions, and because everybody remembers that, he's not getting another chance. Not the fact that he hasn't played in the NFL for like 2 years, and he's like 29 years old, and it's really hard as a skill position player when you get older to make an impact. I don't know. Like you said, your comment in our notes was who?
I was being cruel.
I will.
First of all, I don't think he understands what blackballed means. And second, I think that his problem is understanding cause and causation.
Well, I think we might all have a problem with that in a way. I mean, it's kind of,
Wes Welker hasn't signed yet. I
isn't it
mean,
not quite similar, but it's maybe in the same zip code as kind of the Michael Sam situation. Like he might not just be good enough to be in the NFL, so he's a borderline guy, so maybe teams don't give him a chance
well,
because
that's
of
the
the
thing.
notoriety.
He's a guy with he was a journeyman player with a history of concussions, and that's not being blackballed. That's an NFL team looking at the facts and saying, I'm going to pass. Being blackballed is Michael Sam not getting a job because he's gay and came out as gay and talks about being gay. Or a guy who very publicly whistleblowed on, blackballing is a circumstance having to do with you not getting a job for reasons outside of whether or not you can perform the duties of your job. And for unfortunately for Austin Collie, there are very legitimate concerns there.
Yeah, another guy's like Jonathan Martin, who I think was cut by the 49ers, and I don't know if he was picked up by anybody else, but he was a second round
He did.
pick. He
He
was a pretty
signed
high draft pick.
with um,
Panthers, maybe?
Panthers. I think he did sign with Carolina. Yes.
The Panthers and smoking the wacky tobacco, and they signed Michael Oher, but hey, they obviously didn't listen to you.
I actually think that's a good signing for them.
Hmm. What, is it like a better than nothing situation?
Well, I think that he's better than Byron Bell, who
Hmm.
they had and let
Yeah, he's
go,
not so good on the line. You're right about that.
and Michael Orr is still young. Listen, Michael Orr wasn't great for the Tennessee Titans, but it wasn't entirely his fault. The Tennessee Titans offensive line coach sucks.
Yeah, and they signed the guy out of like Wisconsin. It's like every year Wisconsin has like three guys getting drafted in the NFL. And you're like, well, there's got to be something going on there. Their running backs always get taken, and they always run for 7,000 yards. And yeah, well, pretty much anything Ken Wisenhunt did was not good.
Well, we all saw I don't remember which rent a store left tackle they had out there that they put one on one alone with J.J. Watt, but it
Was that Stingley, or was that another guy that got off the street
was
who
not
was
Stingley. It was a guy that they
who
signed
was
off.
like behind him? Yeah, it does get bad in the NFL when you get down. But I have to take, I have to make one comment about you calling Austin Collie a journeyman player, just because I recall the week he scored like 43 fantasy points because he happened to be on my dad's team. And I'm
But
pretty sure I drafted him the next year when he had like four concussions and never played. So, yeah, that's what happens. Him and you remember Brandon Stokely had that one really good year with the Colts, and then the next year he was drafted super crazy high. Yeah, that's what happens.
Brandon Stokely was Eric Decker before Eric Decker was Eric Decker.
Eric Digger's fine. He's got a reality show. Come on, he's all good.
Oh, he's all good.
It's kind of sad when a guy like the season ends and you think, man, Eric Decker sucked, and he had like 70 catches and like 7 touchdowns. But when you started him in fantasy, he did nothing. So yeah, it's kind of weird. The Jets have reunited Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker. They just re-signed Tebow, and it's Broncos all over again, right?
Broncos. Woo.
Broncos. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I've used the term. A lot of people have used the term. This is the time of year where maybe there is an off season, because it's a joke that there is no off season in the NFL. But it seems really like the draft's coming up, but
It's slow right now. We
you're
should be doing the draft right now.
go for
Everybody
it.
knows it's bullshit that they moved the draft to later. This is why it sucks right now,
Oh wait,
because the NFL messed with a good system, and here we are.
so it's 3 weeks from tomorrow. Is that right? It's the 30th, I think. And
It's
they
the
moved it
30th.
a little back from last year, but I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Are you prepped? You already have bags packed for Chicago?
I had actually not even announced that yet, Zach. So thanks for announcing that for
Oh.
me.
You're gonna go St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, that's it. Wait, that's happened already? Huh.
I have not packed
Oh,
my
that's a
bags yet.
test.
I have
Let
not
me
packed
tell
my
Zach
bags yet.
something, and then let's see what he spills.
This
I
is
can
why I
handle
don't
it.
tell you shit.
Yeah, see, at least now there's a reason.
No, it's all right.
You will
I leave.
die.
Yeah, I leave. I fly in early Wednesday and immediately start covering, and I will be there until Wednesday evening, and then I fly back. And so, kind of I won't get to spend as much time in Chicago as I might want, but it'll be all good. This one right here is going to be the crazy one missing me.
Now you're not gonna be on location on whatever fishing boat Marcus Mariota is gonna be on, or wherever
I will not be
Winston
stalking
is
either
on.
Marcus Mariota or Jameis
I
Winston.
won't even speculate as to where Jameis Winston might be, but yeah.
He's supposedly going to be with his grandmother.
Well, I like that. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, if at all possible, when in Chicago, definitely hit up Mr. Dexter's library because he can mix some good drinkage. He's a bartender, part-time word slinger. That's him.
Sounds
And
like a great gig.
the best part was
And I mean, seriously, I mean that.
I made a comment about everybody who's going to Chicago has to meet up with him. And a very enterprising guy on Twitter posted that his invitation list included the following NFL players: Lawrence Taylor, Nate Newton, Sam Hurd, Johnny Manziel, Josh Gordon, Jerome Simpson, Mercury Morris, Jamal Lewis, Travis Henry, go Vols, Bam Morris, Justin Blackman. Um,
No Leonard Little in there?
there's lots of comments Mr. Dexter's library makes about the occasional smoking of the wacky tobacco. So
Ah.
I always joke that he'll be partying hardcore with the Sam Hurd. That was a good one. You're only going to know about certain guys about what they did. I think Nate Newton was busted with like 100 pounds of pot. It was some insane amount. It was great. It was like, you've learned a lot.
What's his name? Oh, the running back, fullback, Broncos, McLean. He was busted for synthetic weed.
Hmm. I don't even know what's the point. Why not go for the real thing? Isn't it the same? You get the same
I don't
charge,
know.
right?
You're don't look at me.
I don't know. You think
I
you'd know
smoke
more
the
about
real
this?
shit.
I think you'd know more about the real, about that based on just the UT police blotter, right?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, attitudes are changing. There's a movement to legalize, not just medical marijuana, but recreational marijuana. So I think that eventually we'll have an NFL that doesn't necessarily care whether you smoke a weed, and we already do, really. The NFL doesn't care if you smoke weed. They care if you're dumb enough to get caught about it because they let you know when you're going to get tested. And so if you do get caught, you are either A, kind of dumb, or B, you probably seriously have a problem.
The Josh Gordon rule. Yeah, it's going to be hard to go back.
Josh Gordon, his last suspension isn't for weed, by the way. It is for
I guess for the
drinking.
drink, right?
Yes, he
Well,
was not supposed
drinks,
to be.
but I'm
He
guessing
was
he
not.
had more than one.
He was not supposed to be drinking, and he was on a flight. Went on a trip with his good buddy Johnny Manziel, who hopefully will get out of rehab.
With friends
That
like that,
I mean,
I mean, talk about a free fall in value there. Yeah, you made a comparison on your very big show about Mariota and Winston compared to Bridgewater and Manziel from last year. Now for Bridgewater, that sounds good, but Manziel, that sounds really, really, really bad. But
Well, I was talking about the narrative and how silly the narrative is, and we sort of ran out of time. Yeah, one of the things that I've always said, sorry,
I've been hearing
oh,
puppy noises, so
she's
yeah.
killing me. I don't know what she's doing. Let me put her down. She's
Pets, they just don't understand.
cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. So anyway, the point that I was wanting to make, and we really needed to move on, was that you can't have it both ways. You know, the NFL wants to talk about protecting the shield and being worthy, and it's a privilege to play in the National Football League, and then try to sell its consumers that to a silly narrative that a guy who is respectful and quiet and seemingly does all the right things, like Teddy Bridgewater and Marcus Mariota, can't be the face of the franchise, whereas you have troubled guys, problem guys in Jameis Winston and Johnny Manziel, who are your prototypical face of the franchise. It offends me in a lot of different ways, mostly intellectually, because it's dumb.
Yeah, it's hard, I guess, not to fall for that kind of stuff. I mean, the Johnny Manziel stuff, that's what would make me worried in any form my team taking Jameis Winston, because basically what Manziel was doing is, well, his family has money so he can go to a lot of events and stuff, but he was just partying. Stuff that Winston's been, alleged to do is seems to be a lot further down the line. So I don't know. But yeah, we're definitely in the midst of the silly season. It's probably be a
It
good idea to
wasn't
keep track of daily tweets of all these rumors that people are actually reporting as if they have any even a nugget of truth to them.
wasn't the name of your book "There Is No Off Season"?
Yes, there is no off season, and there still is no off season. Yep, that's right.
Do you get royalties when somebody mentions it?
I
When
wish.
somebody says there is no off season, do you get a royalty check?
Actually, well, considering the wide audience we have with this show, I got mentioned by someone at the Dynasty League football that somebody told them that they couldn't use the term "there is no off season" because someone had trademarked it or something. I'm like, okay. I don't think I have wide enough readership to get in trouble with that. I was just like, well, it sounds cool. So yeah, I don't really take ownership with that. I just think the way the NFL's gone and the fact that some people are more available during the off season, so that means I can actually get them for interviews. Although people have been a little bit more quiet lately. I don't know what that is. Maybe everybody wants to have a life or something. It's confusing, but it could be true.
Well, it's been. I mean, what else can you say that you haven't already said? Right now, it's just we're at regurgitation level.
Yeah, I haven't done my annual purchasing of the Matt Waldman RSP, but I will. The rookie scouting portfolio available online everywhere. I just heard, because, video game person to video game person, I've been playing the Super Mario Brothers Wii game,
Oh
and I
yeah?
just turned the sound off and listened to podcasts while I play. So I was listening to the return of the Audible. They actually took a long break for them. And they did their Thursday night show, and Matt Wallman was on, and it was a long talk about quarterbacks, and he actually had Mariota ranked around Brett Hundley level. Actually, I think he had Brett Hundley just a tick above him, which was interesting. I mean, it's interesting to get into the actual details of Mariota came off as kind of a robotic kind of prospect. If that was the first and the second and third read, that's what he did, no matter what actually happened in the game. And it sounded like Brett Hundley might have more ability to kind of see where he can take advantage of a certain situation. Plus, he wasn't in the Oregon crazy offense. I mean, people make fun of the spread offense and they make fun of the Oregon offense, but it's like, well, if guys are wide open and it wears out defenses, isn't that a good thing when you score a lot of points? So, and if that's the offense you ran and he ran it better than anybody else who's done it, then that's good. So it's hard to say because I of course take a lot of stock in what Matt Waldman says. I use what he writes as a nice guide when my dynasty rookie drafts come up. But you're going to hear people all over the map. I mean, today it was a big deal. Everybody, Matt Mayock said that he ranked Mariota over Jameis Winston. And I think last year there was a lot of last second adjustment where Teddy Bridgewater was dropping down people's boards at the last minute and it actually manifested itself on draft day. So it's hard to say. Like, I still think Jameis is number one and then Mariota might drop, but we'll see. We'll see. And you'll see because you'll be there. You'll know before we'll know. So
I'll have to start breaking picks.
that's it. Who's making a smiley face in the green room except the fact that no one's going? It is a little strange that the top two draft prospects, at least the publicly acknowledged ones, because who cares about a decent defensive tackle, right? Not named Ndamukong Suh, aren't going to be there. So
Or Gerald McCoy,
about?
I mean, there's so many really good defensive tackles. I mean, I don't know. I hear Greg Cosell still not enamored of Leonard Williams.
Well, I like hearing. I mean, I kind of like this time of year in that people have these differing opinions. It's good. I mean, that's the point. If everybody agrees, then I start to get nervous. So, yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot about Leonard Williams being a good pick, and the Titans need defensive help, so why not? But I just like the idea that everybody's talking about these two quarterbacks, so maybe there is some value with that pick. Maybe they can make a trade. Maybe they can trade for the Rolling Stones because they'll be at LP Field this summer. Whoop, whoop.
And Zach is not at all excited about it. I'm kind of disappointed.
Well, I've been driving through town a lot this week in Atlanta, and I saw that the Rolling Stones are going to be at the Georgia Tech Stadium probably the same week. So they get a day off for naps. I don't know how it goes. I saw the Rolling Stones with my parents
That was so
when I was in
cruel.
college. You know who opened for them? Blind Melon. Remember Blind Melon?
I do.
Yeah, that was like. And the funny thing is, I had bought their one album, and I knew all their songs. And my parents were like, "Who are these people?" It's great. But yeah, it was like It's funny because in the '90s, Missouri's football was horrible, so the chance to see a full stadium was a Rolling Stones concert, and the same will occur at LP Field. Although I'm guessing they're probably not going to have a full 60,000 person setup. Never seen a concert there, have you?
I have not been. Oh, at Bridgestone?
I think it's LP Field where they're playing. I mean,
Oh,
I don't think it happened. They don't do concerts that often there, probably. It's my
they
guess.
don't. I don't think that I've ever been to a concert at LP.
Yeah, you're avoiding LP Field, except
It
when I have a
sucks.
low battery on my phone. Other than that,
Yeah, I mean, as a fan, I don't ever intend to go back as a fan.
ever?
I don't have any desire right now. I'll just leave it at that. Not as a fan.
I don't remember if I mentioned my parents when I came to visit them during my visit. They were really seriously considering letting go their season tickets, and they ended up selling one of the three to a friend, and they decided to keep two of them. So, uh-oh.
Sorry about that.
What has happened in Puppy Land? Some weeks. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough being a mom.
It's tough trying to.
You train them and beat them as much as you can, but look what happens, right?
I was saying today we took a couple of walks today, and on one of them she was clearly not in the mood to mind me, which is basically her usual state of mind. And I was thinking I really need to get her a T-shirt that says "Can't tell me nothing."
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I've totally missed out. I've been free and clear, and the basketball tournament has been on, and baseball is opening day, dominated my Twitter feed, and I just I didn't watch a second of baseball. I don't know. I used to care a little bit about baseball, but now I just let it go. I try to be considerate because I know that 10,000 tweets I send on NFL Sunday have to be annoying to some people. But then again, you probably shouldn't be following me if you don't like NFL tweets. But
Yeah,
yeah,
the whole concept of tweeting to please other people doesn't
I mean, I
occur to
poke
me.
kind of, it's fun to poke fun at like the baseball people. Oh no, your team lost. It must be really devastating. You only have 161 games left. I mean, I can see if like, oh, we have to clinch the division with this game, but there's just not as much on the line as with the NFL. But then again, it's I don't know. There's some things behind baseball that I like. I mean, I like the minor league system. I like trades because the Braves made a big trade right before opening day. They basically like got rid of some of their higher priced guys and picked up some minor leaguers, which you can't do in the NFL. It's just not as cool. But I mean, that part's cool. It's just like, when's the last time I was actually at a Braves game? And I don't really remember. I think the White Sox were there, and it wasn't even the regular season, and that was probably 8 or 9 years ago.
I used to watch a lot of baseball, and now it's just kind of foreign to me.
But in a way, something about fantasy baseball because it is a daily thing, but it becomes a grind and you give up. The best part is the math because you're doing like ERA. So if your closer gives up 3 runs in a third of an inning, his ERA is 81, and I just find that great. Or you can have an ERA of infinity. You can't. It's NFL. You can't have that. So that's cool. But yeah, it's like other than that, it's like God, it's a lot of baseball, man. Seriously. Now, here's a story. It is spring break in most of Atlanta schools this week. So some kids out of LSU were driving to the Gulf Coast, and they got busted with a trailer attached to their car. They had 108 six-packs of Natty Light,
Oh, wow.
and they were underage. And yeah, so that was like someone did the math. It was like almost 1,000 cans of natural light, and I think there were 4 of them. I was like, that's it. That's some planning ahead right there. I
That's
know.
my kind of party.
So if you go to the beach, do you import your own beer, or you just get whatever happens to be there?
It just depends on whether I fly or drive. If it's a road trip and I'm able to transport my own kingdom, so to speak, I definitely pack my own stuff. And I usually restock, if depending on where is it, and is it the Carolinas, the Outer Banks, is it down in Florida, what have you. I'll pack. I've got a big cooler, and I'll pack it up. And as you know, I'm not a huge beer drinker anyway, so it usually consists of.
Boxes of wine?
I will buy my wine down there. I don't try to usually don't try to transport wine because it's not worth it. You can buy wine down there just like you can here, and it's comparably priced and all of that. I will drink beer on the beach. I think that is probably one of the best ways to experience a beer. But usually it consists of things like tequila, margarita mix, whatever I can grab out of the refrigerator, Bloody Mary mix, vodka. I'm throwing all my shit in there and packing it on ice. And I drink a lot of water anyway, and so I'll be throwing all my water bottles and containers of water in there, so I don't have to stop unless I just absolutely want to or whatever. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, we're going to the beach in about a month, and it's with like the like Allison's family. So no, if I go to the beach, I usually do bring my own beer, just because I don't know what they're going to have there. There actually was a drive-through liquor store right across the street from the place we used to go in like Orange Beach, Alabama. It was always
I've been
weird
to
to go
Orange
down and go,
Beach.
there's like this much of Alabama that has like
Orange
a
Beach
beach.
has those big palmetto bugs that
Hmm.
attacked my sister one year.
Wow.
We got a free meal out of it. I mean, it was
Gosh.
amazing.
Yeah, but yeah, like, and it just fills up my trunk. And my wife's like, "Really? You're gonna drink that much beer?" And I'm like, "I never bring any home." So yeah, We'll see how it goes hanging out with the fam. There'll probably be
What is your
a lot of
beach
Bud Light.
beer?
I love the Abita like strawberry that comes out, and because season's
I like the
weird
Abita
now,
Purple Haze. Now, I'm a
that's
huge,
a good
huge
one.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd because the beer seasons, like if you buy an Oktoberfest beer, you look for it like in August. So it's good to know that the summer beer, like Abita Strawberry, is already in stores. Probably was in stores in February. So yeah, maybe I should go pick up some of that. Yeah, yeah, it's for the beach. Yeah, that's what it is. I know I had a friend of mine, Don, and we would go to the beach, and we would actually drink the cheap stuff during the day and then transition to the better stuff at night. And of course, there were blender drinks. You can always get those mixes at the grocery store. I mean, that's the beach. You go to the grocery store, you just buy all your supplies for the week, and then you're set. You go to those group like grills. Hope I can handle it after my high level, big green egg experience. Oh no, it's charcoal that you just light. No, it's no ruffians. I'll survive somehow.
I mean, if I'm drinking beer on the beach, it's usually something super light. Because I like to wear a two-piece bikini, and I don't like to have beer bulge.
Is that a Vols bikini?
I have a Titans bikini. I don't have a Vols one.
Oh, nice. Go team. Well, anyway, yeah. So I don't know. What else happened is there, any other excitement in the NFL, or is it basically rumors and innuendo for the next three
There's
weeks?
not a lot going on right now. It really is sort of a dead period. The news about Sarah Thomas. There's other small things, kind of cooking and going on, but no, it is unusually quiet, we should say.
It's like nothing.
Last week we had the punishment. We didn't do a show last week. So the NFL has levied the punishment on the Falcons, your hometown Falcons, and the Cleveland Browns for their texting stuff. The Falcons were a team that got punished for piping in crowd noise to get a competitive advantage.
Doesn't everybody with a dome do that? I mean, so they lost a fifth round pick.
And $350,000.
Hmm. So like 12 cents for you and me, or
Well,
less than a cent probably. I just decided to look at our, that endless mock draft that we're doing together
oh
for the
yeah,
30th
I
round. I
think
actually pre-drafted for the 30th round, but apparently uh, all the kickers I pre-drafted were taken. I had pre-drafted for so many rounds in a row, I don't even know. So what was
I think I got okey doked in that and somehow missed an email or whatever, and ended up with Patrick Willis.
uh, well, my favorite part of that league is the street free agent Brian got like twice. He got Chris Borland to sign him
Yes,
because he was the top guy, and he had to get it redone. I'm just gonna even look because I did like a week ago. I was like, I'm just gonna pre-draft two guys per round, pick a position, and go with it and see what happens. And it looks like did I get? No, I didn't get a kicker. Huh. I did get a kicker. Yay, Dan Bailey. Oh, yay, woo. Huh. What position do I have left? Anyway, yeah. So
I
this
was
is
so frustrated yesterday and Monday because every time I got an email and tried to get in and draft. No, this was yesterday. Yeah, yeah. I was so frustrated yesterday because you had to re-log in every time, and I was like getting flooded with emails left and right. You're on the clock. You're on the clock. You're on the clock. You get a clock, and you get a clock. I feel like
this
Oprah.
Oprah clock. Everybody gets the
Yeah.
clock.
And every time I would try to get on there and log in, it would be like, "No, stupid. What's your login?" I'd be like, "No, you're stupid."
You're a stupid head. Yeah, I think it happened while I was doing an interview. Like my pick came up in one of those mock drafts, and every time it's on my phone, I have to do the send me my password thing, and you just click a button and you're back on. But it's like
I didn't know that. I do now.
that's one of those things. Like
sent out a plea for help. Please help
my
me. And
home web
there's some
page
nice
remembers
guys who
it,
help.
but my phone doesn't. I think that's why I didn't sign up to do. He actually signed me up, and that's fat. I should get this fat cat guy on since he's doing. It's kind of what Taz used to do, Fantasy Taz. He would do all of these draft masters, and it was just basically mock drafts, but you actually would. It'd be like best of all, and you'd participate during the season. But it was just something to do, and he'd do like 100 of them. And this guy's definitely leading the charge. He signed me up for one. It was a rookie mock draft that was just defensive guys, and I was like, I don't past
It's
the
an
third,
IDP draft. I'm in that, aren't
past
I?
the third guy. I didn't know anybody's names. I was like, I gotta get out of this thing. I like doing the mixed because that's what I'm in. I'm in a dynasty league with IDP, so it's nice to see where those guys are going. But if it's just defensive guys, I'm like, okay.
I'm in. I like it. I'm having fun with it.
Well, you just, you're in it
I
all.
just
You're
ruled
a
the pool.
participant. Yeah. There's a level. My level
There's
below
levels
the
to this
screen. Yours is
shit.
on the screen. Yeah, exactly. I just want to know if I get on your show, what my bumper music will be. I can't wait.
I
I'm
have
excited.
not had a male guest co-host. You might have to be my first.
Hmm. We shall see.
We shall see.
I gotta earn it. This is like a
Obviously, I won't
tryout.
be able to do on the 28th. I won't be able to do a Wednesday morning show, but maybe I could have you sub for me. You could sub for me on Sharona Unfiltered on that Wednesday morning show while I'm jet setting up to Chicago to cover the NFL draft.
Zach Rona Unfiltered. I like that. Very
hmm
special guest star. I'll have to wear my T-Rack hat, even if it's audio only. You'll know. Trust me, you'll know.
You could Periscope it.
Oh, I totally forgot. I haven't even put in my usual stuff. I haven't done a hangout all week. I'm like, how does this work
I
again?
asked you
I
why
should
you didn't
remember.
have a banner up, and you just totally ignored me.
I
You,
didn't
you did. You know you
hear.
did.
I selectively hear things. Yeah, people
As
told me,
men
oh, an
do.
hour in, I should put my banner up. Yeah.
As
You know
men
where to
do.
find me, people. I'll just be I'm retweeting everything that I should try that one day. Retweet everything Sharona posts, and then we'll be caught up. I
Get
can't
on
wait to
my
get back.
level, Zach.
It's a high level. It's like being a kid and trying to jump off the diving board for the first time. It's just very daunting. It's very scary.
Very,
I mean, like
very
this is how I'm
scary.
supposed to look. Yeah. Uh huh.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna be. That's good. So you said you're gonna stay for the entire 3-day draft, or are you just covering like first, second, third, fourth
No,
round?
I'm gonna be there for the whole thing. I might.
Ooh.
I don't know exactly how long Saturday is going to last. It usually goes pretty quickly. I think I fly out around 4-ish, 5-ish, something like that.
It's gonna be good. We
It's gonna
expect
be fun.
much. We do a live hangout from Chicago, wherever they're doing it.
I'm gonna get my itinerary on what I'm gonna be covering and whatnot. So we'll peruse that and figure something out.
Okay, that's good. So you enjoyed your creme brulee? Will you be ordering that beer again? That's one of those bombers, right? From
It
Southern Yeah.
I've got it's one of those big ones, and so I'm only roughly halfway through. I'll have to finish it and see. It's not bad.
I'm roughly this
This
much
is
through.
also the brewery that produces the chocolate.
Right, and they did a beer called Pumpkin, and there's one
See,
year
no pumpkin beer for me.
pumpkin
Puke.
beer. A friend of mine just loved it, and they sold out in like minutes. And in subsequent years, they had an infinite supply. So every time I'd bring it over to my friend's house, he still probably has it in his fridge. That's how in love he is not with that beer anymore. So, yeah, watch it if you bring beer for somebody. But yeah, it's a weird stout because it's like a lighter color. Like I'm used to a stout being the color of the beer you're drinking.
hmm
Not this is like, oh, this looks. But the thing is, it's aged in whiskey barrels, and hi. See, he has
Hi,
a
kitty
mustache.
cat.
This is facial hair right here.
Oh, I just saw a butt.
Yeah. Not for the
Kitty
kids,
cat
everybody.
stuck. Kitty cat stuck its butt in my face.
His introduction, that's basically like, this is my better side, to be honest. Yeah. But it's because of any beer that has the whiskey barrel, it's got that certain boozy, super boozy flavor. It's a bit strong for moi.
Super booze.
But hey, it's just Wednesday night, right? Somebody said it's Lost Day. It's 4/8/15, which I guess is part of the Lost combo. But after that series finale, I forgot that I ever watched that show.
Yeah, the series finale was awful.
It wasn't right.
Not in the least.
But I'm trying to catch up on Louis because the season premieres Thursday. But the good thing about the show, Louis, you don't have to worry about the plot. There really isn't a plot.
Game of Thrones is almost back. Game of
I
Thrones.
know, it's Mad Men, it's Game of Thrones, there's a lot going on.
X-Files is back.
The good news about
The truth is out there, Zach.
Game of Thrones is that there's a new Game of Thrones beer out, and I've heard it's good. So I had the last one. It's by Omegang, which I believe you've had some of their beer. Anyway, what's the noisage going on over there?
Fingernails.
Ah, I see. I'm just trying out sound effects. So, in the next hour and a half, let me know what is going on in the world of Sharona.
Oh, I get a whole hour and a half?
Well, you said your show, like, you ran out of time, and I was like, the show I was listening to was an hour and a half. Oh, man, that's
Oh, it was an hour and a half, but we covered a lot of ground.
Of course. That's what you do when you're on the level.
Sharona Unfiltered will be back on Monday, and I've got another great guest host lined up Friday morning, again with, as usual, with my girl Vashti on Game Over with Vashti and Sharona. Catch me writing at NFL Female and at Pro Player Insiders. And I killed a bunch of dragons over the weekend, so check out my website, Sports by Sharona, and my YouTube, and see me kill dragons on Dragon Age Inquisition.
Dragons, they're tough to kill. Well, I posted my Killing Bowser article, which is about the end of the Mario series, and, well, not the end, because there's always a new game, right? I kind of feel bad for Bowser. And also the princess. Can't there be a game where the princess, rescues Mario? Let's flip it around. See what happens.
They need to create a game where the princess is awesome and rescues herself.
I mean, you're able to do that like in the Mario Kart game because you can play the princess character and you can actually, do some
I didn't
damage.
actually ever play Mario Kart.
It's very nice. I almost got the Wii U just because there's a new Wii U game version of that. But, anyway. So, yeah, I wrote about that and just a little article about the 2 interview experience I had yesterday. I'll get more into details if anything actually comes of it, because that's how it goes in the job hustle and lifestyle. So yeah, Zach_Law to find me, but Sports by Sharona to find Sharona, because she's awesome. You should really stalk her. I'm a horrible stalker. You could do way better than me. With the NFL draft coming up, we'll have many exciting news and innuendos and what kind of topping does Mariota have on his frozen yogurt? I'm sure we'll be talking about that next week, so that should be good. Anyway, and the special pet edition of Going for Two, I would just like to say thanks everybody for watching the show. We're going to try to get guests back on the show because they're cool. Not as cool as us, but they're pretty cool. Anyway, so I will say, to finish off the show, good night and kiss my grits.
Good night.
Like this. That's how we do it.
This
Bottle
is
style.
how we do it, baby.
It's empty. Oh, here comes the cat.